Isn't it fascinating the way the mind can hold two opposing desires so closely together, almost as if it's cradling a delicate balance, a teetering point where change meets stability. You want things to change, don't you? And yet, at the very same time, there's something comforting, something safe and familiar about how things are right now, isn't there? That dual pull. It's like standing on the shore, just watching the waves come in. Part of you longing to dive into the depths, while the other part loves the warmth of the sand beneath your feet. But here's the curious thing. What if it's not really a conflict at all? What if it's a partnership, a dance between your desires for growth and your need for grounding? Because as you listen to these words, as you feel the rhythm of the moment, isn't it true that every tree stretches towards the sky and roots itself deeply in the earth? Growing doesn't erase the stability, it builds upon it. You see, the part of you that wants to change, it's the voice of possibility. It whispers, there's more to discover, more to feel, more to experience. And that part of you that wants things to stay the same. That's the guardian of your comfort, your security, and everything that's kept you strong until now. There are no enemies, there are allies. Each one serves you, don't they? When you realize both voices have your best interest at heart, you begin to wonder, how can they work together? Because haven't you noticed how life is always changing and staying the same? Days turn to night, and yet the sun rises again. Seasons shift, but the cycles remain constant. Change doesn't destroy stability, it creates it. It's the very essence of how you've grown, isn't it? Think back to a time when you felt uncertain, when part of you hesitated, yet somehow you made it through. And as you did, you found you hadn't lost yourself. You gained something new, hadn't you? And so, in this moment, as you let these words settle in, you might begin to realize something powerful. You don't have to choose. You don't have to resolve the conflicts because there's no conflict. You can embrace the safety of what you've known and the excitement of what you don't yet know. You can let the part of you that craves stability anchor you, while the part of you that longs for growth gently nudges you forward step by step. After all, isn't it true? The greatest changes, they often come, not from abandoning what you've known, but from building upon it. Like a house that expands, adding new rooms, without tearing down the old ones. Like a river carving a new path, while still flowing from the same source. As you imagine that now, you might begin to see change. It's not a threat to who you are. It's an invitation to become even more of who you've always been. As you think about this now, as you let those ideas settle into your mind, in just the way that's most helpful for you, doesn't it feel good to know that you can move forward without losing anything? That you can hold onto the parts of your life that serve you, even as you explore new possibilities? Because every step you take, it's a choice, isn't it? And with each choice, you grow stronger, more confident, more aligned with the person you're becoming. And perhaps without even realizing it, you're already beginning to feel a shift. That inner conflict dissolving. Those two parts of you starting to harmonize, just like two hands coming together to build something new. As you carry this awareness with you into every decision, every moment, you'll find you no longer need to struggle. You can trust yourself because change and stability, they aren't opposites, they're partners. And when you work together, there's nothing you can't achieve. And isn't it remarkable how the mind begins to shift, even without you consciously realizing it? Because as you hear these words, as you allow them to settle in wherever they feel best, you might start to notice something very profound. This very idea of being conflicted is merely an illusion. It's like watching a kaleidoscope, where every turn reveals a new perspective, and you suddenly see, while felt like opposition, it is in fact perfect harmony just waiting to emerge. You see, the part of you that says, I want things to change, the part that whispers, but I need things to stay the same. They're not pulling against each other, they're guiding you to balance. It's like the push and pull of the tide, the way the waves reach out and draw back, creating a rhythm so natural, so effortless. It feels like the whole ocean is breathing. And isn't it true? Your life breathes in just the same way. Expansion and stillness. Movement and rest. Curiosity and certainty. Because if you think about it, what is stability really? It's not about being frozen in place, is it? No, stability is a foundation, a place to stand, so you can reach even higher, even further. And change isn't chaos, it's growth. It's the unfolding of potential, the way a seed splits open to become something far greater than itself. The seed doesn't lose itself when it becomes a tree. It fulfills itself, and in the same way, you don't lose who you are when you grow. You expand into more of who you're meant to be. So perhaps now you can begin to wonder, what would it feel like to hold both of these truths at once? To know deep down, the part of you craving change, it's a sign of your wisdom. It knows there's more out there, more to experience, more to create. And at the same time, the part of you that values stability, it's a sign of your strength. It wants to protect you, to keep you safe, to honour all the things that have brought you to this moment. Two voices, one purpose, to help you thrive. And isn't it amazing? As you think about this, you can already sense these two parts beginning to align. Like two hands weaving a tapestry, each thread adding to a picture, creating something more beautiful, more complete than either could achieve alone. Because you don't have to choose, do you? You can honour the safety of what you know while stepping into the adventure of the unknown. You can allow stability to guide your steps while letting change show you the path forward. And as you imagine this now, it might feel as if something inside you is beginning to unlock, like a door opening to a room you've never seen before, where possibilities are endless, and you realise there's nothing to fear. Because you've done this before, haven't you? Every time you've grown, every time you've taken a risk, or tried something new, you've carried the essence of who you are with you. And you've discovered again and again that change doesn't destroy it, it transforms. Think of a butterfly. It doesn't resist the cocoon, does it? It trusts the process, knowing that change is how it fulfills its purpose. And yet, even as it spreads its wings for the first time, it remains the same being it always was. Change doesn't take away anything, it adds, it reveals, it completes. So what if right now you could trust yourself in the same way? What if you could feel that deep knowing, that unshakable certainty? No matter what change you embrace, you're always safe within yourself. That stability, it isn't something you cling to, it's something you carry with you, like the roots of a tree, deep and strong, allowing the branches to reach higher, further into the unknown. And maybe as you sit with this thought, you can feel those two parts of you beginning to soften. The part that wants change, no longer fighting. The part that craves stability, no longer holding back. Because they've realised something powerful. They're not separate, they're one. And when they work together, when they align, they create something unstoppable. So now, as you let these ideas sink in, as they find their place within you, you might begin to notice that the conflict you once felt, it isn't there anymore. Or maybe it never really was. Maybe it was simply your mind's way of preparing you for something greater, something more. And now, as you move forward, as you allow this harmony to guide you, you'll discover every step you take feels easier, lighter, more natural. Because you don't have to fight against yourself anymore. You don't have to choose between change and stability. You can have both. You can let change inspire you, and let stability support you. And with every choice you make, with every moment that unfolds, you feel more confident, more grounded, more free. And isn't that what you've been seeking all along? Not the answers to conflict, but the realization there was never a conflict to begin with. There's two parts of you working together, leading you forward into the life you're always meant to live.